Coming up on Western Sports Roundup, we're going to relive what took place right here in Fort Worth, Texas just before Christmas. The National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Who won the world title? We'll tell you all about it coming up on today's show.
We're also going to tell you about the California Circuit Finals. Things got real hot over there in California. We're going to talk to two of those champions. You're going to recognize some of these. They've been in this position before. We'll hear from them.
This past weekend, the PBR and the Professional Bull Riders Association's tour took place in Boston, Massachusetts. With the Unleash the Beast, we will have not only the champion of that event, who did well in the go-rounds, it's all coming up for you on Western Sports Roundup.
Two other occasions.
I love it, Craig.
We've got a new leader.
Happy New Year, Cowboy Channel fans. Oh, it's good to be back inside of our Cowboy Channel studios here in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to Western Sports Roundup. Howdy, everybody. I'm Ty McClary alongside Elise Sutherland. Glad to give a little bit of time off for most of us here after the National Finals Rodeo and the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. At least we got to spend a little time with family and friends over the holidays for Christmas and New Year's. Hope you had a good one.
I hope you had a good one, too. It was fantastic. Got to rope a little bit. Again, spend some time with family. But the action, watching everything happen in the sport of rodeo and everyone focusing on all of the good things that had just happened, there was a lot of big moments that we got to witness in December.
There definitely was. Speaking of those moments, why don't we relive the National Finals of Breakaway Roping, which took place right here in Cowtown Coliseum just before the Christmas holidays. Of course, it's our unbeatable moment brought to you by Unbeatable Feeds. There is your world champion. Taylor Munsell wins the world title. New earnings record, well over $200,000 for her on the season. And here's the deal, when you talk about the recap, I'm sure Taylor doesn't love us talking about it either as well, because day number one did not start out well for her, but she finished it up on day number two. Here's what she had to say with Katie Lucas after her world title win.
You started this finals with 2 no times. You could have packed it in, you could have gone home inside of your mind. What did you have to find within yourself to pull this one off right here?
Oh, I just, first off, I want to start off with saying thank God. I mean, he's blessed me in so many ways, and through all the trials, they've all led me here to this. So, I'm so thankful for everything that he's given me and done for me. And I've always just wanted to, affect others through this. So I'm super glad that I'm getting to live my dream outside of the arena by doing that. And then also doing this for a living is just awesome. But yeah, I started it off a little rougher than I wanted to, but I knew in my mind that I deserved to be here, and I had so many great people in my corner, and I got a lot of good advice. I got a little bit of bad advice, but we put it all to use, and it got it turned around. And those 2 girls that were behind me, they definitely put the pressure on me, which I thought it made it pretty exciting, and it was so fun to be a part of.
Speaking of trials, you've had more than your fair share. You had a time where doctors said, lay that rope down, you're done, you're never going to get to compete again. With that in mind, what do you have to say to anyone out there that might have an obstacle in front of them on the route to their dreams?
If it's something you really want, just be stubborn. Just be stubborn. I mean, you can ask my family, I'm stubborn and hard-headed as they come, and I've never been one to take somebody told me I couldn't do it. I got great advice when I first had surgery, and I was a little down and complaining about not coming back 100%, and they said that a guy from back home, Joe McCubry, he told me, he said, when they tell you that recovery, that's on the average person, and you aren't average.
Wow, her story is a special one. It always has been, and it's definitely in the history books now because she is your world champion. Here's a look at the world standings, but it did not come easy. You've got Josie Connor there, Shelby Beaujolais, Medjid, Riley, George, and on down to the list, Hallie Williams. But here's the thing for Taylor. Like I said, it didn't come easy. She had to make some changes right there. You're going to see some of these videos. She got the tie down on night number 1, a different bridle, but she comes back around, regrouped, prepared to really lay it all out on the line. And honestly, that was kind of what she needed to do. Let Colonel free up just a little bit, and was able to make some really great runs and some adjustments that she absolutely needed to get done. She was on fire for checks night number 2.
And here's the thing that impressed me so much about Taylor over 2 days, the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Yes, as I told you, and she just talked about it in the interview with Katie, day number 1 did not go well for her, but she did not panic. That's the biggest thing, folks. Yes, she came into the world standings with the lead. You saw that earlier. Of course, ended up doing well on day number 2. And here's the thing I love about the Breakaway National Finals. And if you missed it, go back on our Cowboy Channel Plus app and watch it, because the cool thing was when it came down to round 10, there was 3 girls alive for that world title between Taylor, between Shelby, and Josie Connor. That's what breakaway roping's all about. I'm telling you, these girls put on a show, including the show that happened over 10 go-rounds at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping with that gal right there, Riley George. She won the average. She was the only gal to rope all 10 calves there, competing at her 2nd National Finals Rodeo. And day number 1, Elise, she placed in all 5 rounds to start off the breakaway finals.
This was as clean as you could ever see 10 roped ever. But she is a gunslinger. Like you said, don't think that this was her being safe, playing it safe, just being nice and easy. No, she pushed that barrier every single night, and she was on top of it, and that was a goal she had set. Let's hear what she had to say to Katie Lucas.
Oh, it means the world to me, and I'm blessed to be here. And thank you to Jill Tanner for letting me ride that great black horse of hers. And he's really honest for these calves and this fast start.
We saw you just point over to the crowd here. You've got a lot of great people behind you, don't you?
I got people all over in these stands, but my main buddies are down there.
Hey, and they're all cheering for you. Congratulations, the record breaker for the average title.
Thank you.
Oh, that West Coast cowgirl, she wrote 10 of them just as perfectly as you would ever want to. And I'm telling you, she did it very smart. And as Elise told you moments ago, she wasn't safetying up by any means. I mean, money along the way in almost every round. She placed in a pile of those go-rounds to win her first average title at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Another award was given out at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. The Fast Time Award is known as the Betty Gail Cooper Ratliff Award. Aspen Miller won that one.
This is a really fun one that we get to see given out every year, because this goes to the fast time of the breakaway finals. It's presented by the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame. Betty Gail Cooper Ratliff was one of those athletes that she did everything with style, grace, but she was also a gun slinger as well. Aspen Miller had a little bit to say with Katie Lucas.
I've always loved to rope fast, and after my 7th calf not doing any good, I knew I wanted to go at one and see what it did, and it worked out. And this is just a very prestigious award to receive, and I'm very, very thankful for everyone involved.
This is not just any award. This is an award in the name of a woman that was not only an unbelievable competitor in the arena, but a leader for women in rodeo. How much more special is it knowing that you're helping carry on that tradition?
It's so special. It's women like that that give us these opportunities. They set the pathway, and they're the reason we're here today, and I couldn't be more thankful.
Oh, yeah, Betty Gail was definitely one of the pioneers in the sport of rodeo, especially for women. So congratulations to all the ladies at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Of course, that was your unbeatable moment, brought to you by our friends at Unbeatable Feeds. No grain, no problem. Thanks to Unbeatable Feeds for bringing that with us, and we get to share it with you here today. The National Finals of Breakaway Roping, which took place right here at Cowtown Coliseum in Fort Worth right before Christmas. Our Kubota top story of the day here on Western Sports Roundup, brought to you by Kubota. Together we do more. The lineup has been announced for the 2026 Cinch Timed Event Championship at Lazy Arena.
Oh, the Cowboy Ironman is back. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch this event, you absolutely need to. It's certainly one of my favorites to attend. It's all Cowboy all the time. Here's a look at the roster. Ketch Kelton, the youngest to ever walk away with the title at just 19 years of age, is going to be back again. But there's some other gunslingers on here too across all events that are going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Dylan Hall, Bruston Minton, Seth Hall, they all had good years there a year ago. And of course, you've got reigning champions on the list as well. You saw Casey Jones's name on there as well. Of course, Cody Dozier is a former champion there at the timed event. Tyler Wade, he's competing in his first ever timed event, the Ironman up there at the Lazy Inn. Here's a little something about what he had to say.
Help me, doctor. Help me, get it. Get my boo-boo.
She went and got her doctor's stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When she saw
What do you think?
this.
Is it okay?
I know I see the boo-boo. It's not good. Saw Dad's ankle. She saw Dad's ankle. And she went, you want to see?
Thank goodness the world champion team roper has got a good doctor to take care of his boo-boo. That happened with him getting ready for preparation of the timed event. And by the way, that does happen from time to time when some of these guys are getting ready, because let me tell you, the Ironman at the Lazy E there in the timed event championship, Elise alluded to it, one of the greatest events of the year. They compete in 5 different events: team roping, which is heading and heeling, tie down roping, steer wrestling,
they'll have to
and
head
steer roping.
and then they'll have to go back and
all of it, and over 5 go-rounds of competition. I'm telling you, it is one of the good ones.
And it gets exciting to watch because they start shifting the order around as they go. It's a long day of great things to see over those 3 days of competition, but it doesn't get any better than that. I'm certainly excited. The Lazy E Arena in March is going to be the place to be. But next on Western Sports Roundup, the California Circuit Finals Rodeo, that was the place to be over the weekend, and we're going to have some of those champs join us right here on Western Sports Roundup.
And a little later on in the show, we'll go to Boston, Massachusetts. That was the home of the Unleash the Beast tour and the PBR and the professional bull riders. We'll have some highlights, talk about the champions from that event later on in the show.
Western Sports Roundup brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of Cowboys everywhere. We live it every day. Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly. Live in Rock and Roll Denim.
Hell on Wheels is back for one more episode. The season finale of Hell on Wheels, the Rocker Steiner story. You're not going to want to miss it. Brand new episode Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central.
California and Red Bluff, California, just last week, right up to the New Year's holiday. That was the home. The California Circuit Finals took place on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday just last week. Of course, you got to watch it right here on the Cowboy channel. If you missed any of it, we'll share with you who the average champions were there after 3 rounds of competition. Starting off in the bareback riding with a guy who just missed out on another trip to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, and that's bareback rider R.C. Landingham. Oh yeah, he's the guy that ended up 16th on the season, but he didn't let that bother him any at all when he got to the California circuit. He's been a champion there before. Oh yeah, he does it again with class, with style. 250.5 points, split round 1 with his buddy world champion Clayton Bigelow. NFR horse Silver Beaver from Bridwell's was his dance partner for round 2, and of course right on to round number 3, he just dominated the average there at the circuit. Circuit Finals.
He certainly had a fire lit underneath him, but so did Casey Harmon in the steer wrestling, the big man's event. 16-1 on 3 head. You're taking a look at round number 1. He was a 5-3. Round 2, a 4-7. It just kept getting faster. This wasn't an easy setup to have. This was not an easy group of athletes, but he really laid it all out on the line.
You know, thinking about this, Tucker Allen just won the world title just in Las Vegas. We talked about the size of Tucker Allen. Tucker was competing here, didn't have any luck. Casey Harmon's not that big of a steer wrestler either, so I'm going to throw the question out there. Are the littler guys taking over the steer wrestling? I don't know. Big guys, you better watch
agility.
out. Some of them are coming for you, that's for sure. In the team roping, Blake Curtis, Jake Edwards. Here's an interesting group to team rope together. Blake from California, a former circuit champion a year ago, teams up with Jake Edwards, who, lives in New York. I'm not real sure, but that's a little ways from California. No matter what, they're the champions there at the California Circuit Finals.
Maybe he wanted a little sunshine, a little beach time. Those California rodeos are a lot of fun, especially when we get into the springtime. But California man himself, Lefty Holman. Let's talk about this young man. We just talked about R.C. Landingham missing the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Lefty came really close to that, and it came down to the last day of the season. It looks to me like he's ready to get the 2026 season or 2026 calendar year started in a very big way. He knew exactly what he had done. 246.5 points on 3 head. That round 3 you're seeing right here on Talk Derby to me. Whew, it was good.
Yeah, that was the National Finals Rodeo bucking horse from the Flying U string. And of course, the breakaway roping, Suzanne Williams. She's going to join us here just a little bit on the show. Suzanne, the breakaway champion, I'm talking about, dominated out there at the California Circuit Finals. She won all 3 go-rounds, which of course, that lets her win the average. There's her total. That's her total on 3 calves, guys. 6.8 after 3 runs. Yeah, she won all 3 rounds. She won the average, but she didn't take very long to do it either. Congratulations to her. Man, that was putting on a show.
Speaking of having a great year on that side of the arena, the tie-down roping, let's talk about NFR qualifier breast and mitten round 2 and round 3, a 7-8 and a 7-9. Talk about the picture of consistency to be a 26-4 on 3 head. Again, not an easy set to be involved in, but here's the thing. He stepped up and was ready to go.
Fresh off his second trip to the National Finals Rodeo. Of course, a timed event contestant, like we told you just moments ago. He'll be headed to the Lazy E here in just a couple of months to compete there at the timed event, but he better be starting making his plans to Colorado Springs as well for the NFR Open. Here's Ann McGilchrist. Used to be named Ann Scott, and of course now married to steer wrestler Brad McGilchrist. Been running barrels out there on the West Coast, the California circuit out there for a long, long time. Ann is a great horse trainer, a great barrel racer. Obviously that shows up right now. 40-91 on 3 runs right there. She won round number 3 with a 13-32. That was the fastest run of the entire week. Congratulations to Ann for getting her a circuit average championship there in Red Bluff.
What a cool horse, what a cool jockey, and what a great time for Aaron Williams in the bull riding. Yet again, your bull riding champion, 252 on 3 head. He knows this setup, he knows these bulls. This is his family out here in California, and here's the deal. He knows exactly how to capitalize when it means most.
He does, and here's the thing. He's been doing it for a day or two. This is nothing new for Aaron Williams to be in the winner's circle, whether it's riding bulls at the California Circuit Finals or just about anywhere in the country. He's a guy that we've been watching him in the standings here for quite a few years. There's a look at all your champions for the average. They're in Red Bluff that we just told you about. Congratulations to all of your California Circuit Finals champions. Well, speaking of one of the guys that we just showed you on that last screen with the average champions there in California, the California Circuit Finals, including that guy right there. Aaron Williams won the circuit title, or the average title, I should say, there in California. Aaron Williams joins us right now here on the show. Aaron, welcome to Western Sports Roundup. Congratulations on a big weekend there, the California Circuit Finals. But this isn't anything new for you. I mean, you've been to the California Circuit Finals a handful of times. You've won the California Circuit. Just another trip for you right down the rodeo trail, isn't it?
Oh, shoot, yeah, just another glorious day on the job, another good day in the office.
You know, being the aggregate champion, you were the only athlete to cover all 3 bulls. Was this something that you had your mind set on? When you go to a rodeo, we like to ask people when there's several back-to-back to get on, like, do you focus on just one at a time, or are you thinking about the grand scheme of all 3 to get on?
Oh, shoot, I mean, I keep it simple. plan A, no quit, and that's to be a bull rider and not a bull getter on her. Ride everything that I get on, and that's what I aim to do every single time.
I like that a lot. Not a bull getter on her, that's for sure. Okay, we just saw some video from round number 1. I want to focus on that ride. We're watching round number 3 right now where you were 83 points on Icky Thump, but I want you to take me back to go round number 1. That was the round that you were the only guy to qualify, and so right off the bat, you're a bull up on the rest of the field. So with that being said, going into rounds 2 and maybe in round 3, does that change the game plan for you any at all there at the California Circuit Finals?
Nope. I mean, game plan stays the same. Be a bull rider, not a bull getter on her. All I can do is just ride whatever they run under me, and the rest of it's not my job. That's completely out of my control. They pay the guys in the vest to push those pencils and pay the people in the office to, crunch the numbers and so on. So I do my job, and then I let everybody else do theirs and keep it simple that way.
You obviously had everything work out really well to your advantage with these rounds, but was there any bull that you had drawn that you were excited to see next to your name between all 3 of these? It obviously went really well, like I said, but was there one that truly you said, man, this is going to be a good night?
Well, probably that second round bull, Fred, just because I've known that bull since he was a calf. I know the guys who raised him. Before he was on Bridwell's truck, I won a PBR on that bull. So, I knew that bull and I was excited to have him. But other than that, if I don't know one from being on them or seeing them, then that's just it. I don't know them. I don't ever look them up or care to see past trips or so on and so forth, because you got to ride them for what they are, not what they were or what you think they're going to be. So, but I was excited to have Fred because I'd been on him before and I knew him.
Aaron, we just saw a little video of you having a little fun with the rodeo entertainer there, Matt Merritt. I got to know, is there history behind that? What was going on there? It looks like you kind of tackled him and took him to the ground, obviously all in fun, but what was happening there?
Oh, shoot. Matt's a great buddy of mine. We go back a few years to, when we were both starting our professional careers. And it was last year, Matt cracked a joke, and he cracked a joke about me being the child of Yosemite Sam and Taylor Swift or something like that. And I turned around and pointed at him and I said, after the short round, I'm going to get you. And he laughed at me. Well, I rode my short round bull and I was kind of eyeing him, out the corner of my eye. And he was coming over to give me a hug, and I tackled him there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it again. So same thing. I just waited for him to come my way, and then grabbed a hold of him.
It looked like he kind of saw it coming. I really like that. There's something about this rodeo family thing. When you've been around as long as you have, as long as Matt's been around as well, does it almost make these wins any sweeter? You've had a lot of success at the California Circuit Finals before, but was there anything sweeter about this one?
This one was pretty dang special because I got to have my wife and my son with me, and that was the first finals that he's got to go to, because he's not quite 9 months old yet. So it was pretty important and special because just having them there.
Yeah, having the family there to cheer you on, that's what it's all about. Now, here's the question. Is the family going to cheer you on at the Colorado Springs, Colorado next summer in the NFR Open? Because with this win, that qualifies you there. So looks like to me you're headed to Colorado this coming summer.
Yeah, that's the plan. I got both the spots for, the finals average and the finals, well, the year end. So, we're going to see how it shakes out, but hopefully we get one of those spots and roll in there to Colorado Springs and do my job, ride bulls.
I hope it all works out for you. Definitely capped off a great year, not only having your son, of course, earlier in the spring, and then a win at the California Circuit Finals. Aaron Williams, thanks for joining us here on the show, and good luck the rest of this year for 2026.
Hey, thank you, guys. Great to talk to you guys. Great to see you again, and look forward to more conversations.
Absolutely. California bull rider Aaron Williams after a big win there in the weekend this past weekend. We're going to keep talking bull riding when we come back. We're going to talk PBR. It was all in Boston, Massachusetts over the weekend. We'll tell you who the champs were when we return.
Gets to role play Achilles atop Hector. He conquers the bull, and we've got another score.
I'll tell you one thing that shocked me with the direction that PBR has gone and how much bigger it's gotten, and then seeing the finals location change kind of shocked me to put in the stockyards. I mean,
a few years from Vegas to there. Yeah, I know. And now people are kind of used to it in Fort Worth. The stadium was cool. The way we had it cut in half and take just 25 guys there and they get on 2 a night. It was a cool. Well, now World Cup Soccer is in the U.S. and we lost the stadium.
Got it.
So as soon as the Cowboys play their last game, the World Cup takes it over because they have all these special lights they're going to bring in. They're putting natural grass in for soccer. They completely take over the stadium. So we lost the stadium. So it's back to Dickey's Arena. And I mean, there's been a lot of talk about World Finals and what to do. I think Texas, Sean Gleason's goal was to get it. It's the heart of cowboy country, and the state of Texas, the city of Fort Worth played a big role in that. And listen, we know, the PBR knows that the NFR is the largest Western festival in the world, and they were pretty close together, and there was lots of factors played into it. So yeah, we'll see in the future how it progresses. Yeah.
I was just curious about that.
That's the stadium deal. Yeah. And I don't think we mentioned it, but I think it should be mentioned more. We didn't just get out that was the deal.
Yeah. Because I hadn't heard that.
We knew that for a couple of years.
Makes sense.
Kind of scrambling. Geez, what do we do? That there was more behind the scenes scrambling to that you guys would know. So.
I was like, what the heck are they doing?
Yeah.
Which obviously I know that it's very smart people involved, and you guys, everybody's been very successful that's involved in that, but I was like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, that's the deal. Soccer, dude. I know.
Soccer, dude.
I don't know.
Oh, that is this past week's show. Let's Freaking Rodeo. Ty Harris and Cole, his brother Cole Harris there, of course, or cousin I should say, with the greatest entertainer in Western sports right there, the one and only Flint Rasmussen. Talking rodeo, talking PBR, and of course, you can continue to watch Let's Freaking Rodeo this week with JD Yates. The Hall of Famer will join those guys this week on the show. Of course, if you miss any of that, it's always on our YouTube channel. It's always on our Cowboy Channel Plus app as well. Go back and check that out. Some pretty good information there coming from the one and only Flint Rasmussen. Well, Flint was talking a little bit about PBR, which he's very heavily involved with, kind of behind the scenes now, from inside the arena to now kind of helping control some things back behind the scenes when it comes to PBR. Boston, Massachusetts is where they were located this past weekend, and we will relive for you what took place on day number 1, all part of PBR and Unleash the Beast and their tour season, which is well underway for the 2026 season. Round number 1, third place money goes to Bob Mitchell versus Ice Trey, 87.20 points. Bob Mitchell currently number 10 in the world standings, and old Bob looking good right there for the number 3 spot in round number 1.
The number 2 position goes to Marco Rizzo and Project X, 87.55 points. But here's the thing, Marco Rizzo came on NFR Tailgate with us back during the National Finals Rodeo, and he was talking about the PBR, talking about his preparation for the season, and also talking about the people that he really looks up to as well. He's kind of relatively new to being on the back of these buck and shoots with these guys, but he's clearly showing that he's got what it takes.
Here's what I loved about Marco Rizzo on the tailgate is when he was watching the NFR, he was eating Oreos. So Marco, that's what it's all about. And a sweet tea, that's right. Dalen Swearingen makes his home not too far away in New York, which is where PBR is headed this weekend. Of course, Dalen, a former world champion in the PBR, round number 1, gets the win versus Hector. 87.70 points for him as we take you to round number 2. That is day number 2. Tygo Salgado and Marco Rizzo. Marco having another great day as well. They tied for second place, 88.25 points. By the way, Marco ended up second when this event was over for the event, and he leads the standings right now in the Unleash the Beast for Marco.
That has got to be really good feeling for him, though. But let's talk about the young gun. I guess we still call him a young gun. He's young in age, but he's clearly a veteran of the sport. Clay Guyton versus Mo Money for 88.7 points for the win on this next day. Here's the thing with Clay Guyton, though. Also, we've been talking about gunslingers. That one is a gunslinger. He's going to come out swinging and spurring.
Yeah, he definitely is. The Australian, though, Brady Fielder, all eyes on me right here. That was the first place win there for 91.20 points, the highest point ride of the weekend, and I believe it's the highest ride of the year so far for this 2026 season. Here's what it sounded like live.
2 other occasions. I love it, Craig.
We've got a new leader.
Big time bull ride for Brady Fielder. First jump, you thought he was bucked off. Settles right into it.
He's talked a lot about how he's been everywhere. The week leading in, he's been the PBR's go-to media man. He was here for a Bruins and Celtics game. Hey, Coop, how about 91.2?
Brady, your first experience in Boston was here a couple weeks ago, going to a Celtics game. Then you came back, you went to a Bruins game, and you told me, I envisioned myself here winning. Bring us back to that moment and how you made it happen.
Absolutely, yeah. It was great for the opportunity to come here and watch the Celtics and the Bruins play, and I've thought about winning since then. I've seen myself here, and here we are. Just very grateful for it.
You said your biggest takeaway in the Garden is you cannot believe the crowd gets louder and louder and louder. In bull riding, how do you embrace that, and how do they help you ride and make it right here?
Oh, it's so awesome. You know, that atmosphere here just pumps us up, and I just thank everybody for coming out and having fun with us. It's been a great time.
And last, winning a world title has always been your dream. Brady, straight from Australia right here to Boston, you're the first ever winner. How does this motivate you for the season?
Oh, that's super cool to me, and it's a big motivation. And I just know if I take it step by step and take care of what's in front of me each and every time, and I'll be just fine.
He was the only 8-second qualified ride in the short round for the Australian. And of course, he gets it done right there at the Unleash the Beast event. Brady Fielder, 265.15 points on 3 ahead. Of course, Marco Rizzer and John Crimber in your top 3. As far as the world standings, though, I told you moments ago, Marco Rizzo is still number 1, but Brady Fielder has put himself in a big spot there at number 2. And of course, with that big high score of the event, they're in that qualified ride there in the short round. So congratulations to the Australian and Brady Fielder for his big win there in Boston. So as far as what's coming up next, the PBR, they go from one garden to the next. It was in Boston, the TD Garden. Now they're headed to the Garden in New York. That's this coming weekend there for the Unleash the Beast tour. So continue with that January the 9th through the 11th, as you see right there on the bottom of your screen in New York City.
From the PBR back to the rodeo arena, we are going to take you to Suzanne Williams next. We just told you about the California Circuit Finals. She dominated it. We're going to ask her just how that week went for her next on Western Sports Roundup.
The circuit standings. Oh, baby! That's what you call domination. 1.9 seconds. There's an S on her chest. That's Superwoman.
In-house announcer Anthony Lucia getting pretty fired up during the breakaway roping a week ago, the California Circuit Finals. And of course, pretty good reason to be fired up, because that gal you're looking at right there, that is Suzanne Williams. Yeah, she was 1-9 in that third and final go-round, but here's the deal. Won all 3 rounds, and of course, that gets you the average win there at the California Circuit Finals. Suzanne, I got to ask you this going into that. Sure, everybody wants to win the average. You want to win the year end, and yeah, it'd be great to win all 3 go-rounds, but holy cow, was that the plan going into that week there at the California Circuit Finals?
Yeah, actually, I kind of had a little different game plan, because I had a pretty good lead coming into it for the year-end standings. So I kind of went into it with the idea that it would sure be nice to get as much money won as I can, just to kind of give me a bump for that 2026 season and get me kind of on a roll. So that was kind of my plan. I kind of decided to kind of go at it as 3 one-headers, and it worked. Just tried to max it out and see what I could do. So
it really did.
It worked great.
It really did. I'm taking a look at a really nice horse you have there. Tell us about the horsepower, because that's your backup.
Yeah, that's actually a mare named Flo. She's 17. She was owned by some really good friends of ours. In fact, they've helped me a lot this year, Cody and Carrie Jones. And I held her all year as a backup to my main horse, Ducker. And I rode her here and there, mainly, you know, anytime I went to a jackpot, she was my mount. And her and I had kind of been getting, you know, together pretty good. And I came back from the NFBR and Ducker was just kind of tired. And I thought, you know, I have the circuit pretty much secure, so I'm going to take her and let her shine. And boy, did she. She worked outstanding for me and really gave me, you know, high hopes for next year. I'll have 2 of them. So it's pretty cool.
Suzanne, as we watch those videos of you, you were 2-9 in the first round, you were 2 flat, and then 1-9 to finish out the 3 days worth of competition there at the California Circuit Finals. But it didn't look easy to me by any means. I mean, those calves looked like they were kind of stronger. I mean, you had to push that start a little bit. Kind of talk us through a couple of those runs.
Yeah, I lucked out. I guess I didn't luck out, but I came in winning the year in. So I got to come into it and was last out the first night. So I got to kind of watch what was going on. And like I said, I just was going to try and win as much money as possible there. And so when I came into that first round and I just needed to be a 3-2, I kind of just tried to get my bearings and get a good run under my belt, and then just kind of got stronger from there. That's kind of my favorite way to do it, you know, kind of get one run under my belt and sure shot them, and then go have fun. So it worked.
It really did, and it looked like you were having a lot of fun, that's for sure. 2.4 seconds is what you beat your last year average title with. That's a lot of time, but this is also coming right on the heels of the National Finals of Breakaway Roping, where it was a great trip. Do you think having that fire underneath you so close from one big event to the next kind of lit that fire underneath you to really push a little harder?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we had kind of been sitting around the whole month of December, you know, when they postponed the finals and then they postponed the kinds. So we had kind of been sitting around. I actually went to Arizona and just entered some jackpots just to get some runs, competitive runs under my belt. And then we went on to the kinds and then rushed back to the NFBR. So, you know, I had 2 solid weeks of, you know, running and gunning and trying to be fast, and that helps, especially when you're old like me. You know, you gotta kind of get on a roll, and then it makes it easier. So absolutely coming right off the NFBR and having to go fast back there and being able to butt heads with all those great competitors. Not that we don't have our own great competitors in California, but just kind of a little different. I feel like I had a little unfair advantage because I had been nodding my head for a lot of money for a while. So
we're watching some video right now, of course, of you at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Took place right here at Cowtown Coliseum here in Fort Worth. It was your first trip, the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. Kind of, you've already mentioned it a little bit, but I did want to ask you, Suzanne, tell us your thoughts. I mean, you split a go-round there, placed in a couple other rounds. You definitely didn't leave town empty-handed by any means.
No, I did not. It was good. The crowd was awesome there. You know, it was a little tough. I have a 6-year-old, and we left there at 3 o'clock in the morning the night after the finals and had to drive all night and all day just to get home for Christmas, you know, to get back for Santa Claus. But it was awesome. The crowd was fabulous. It was one of those deals where the first day I felt like I was just kind of behind it, you know, and then actually I did get on flow. I got on the mare for the second day, and like I said, we just kind of, our timing was a little better than Ducker and I coming across, and the barrier was tricky there, and you had to nail it to make good runs, and I got it figured out towards the end. I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully I get a chance to go back, because that would be awesome. I'm ready now.
Yeah, like you said, I'm ready now. But the thing is, you were ready when you got there, that's for sure. And watching what you were able to get done in 2025, we're already off to a great start for 2026. But speaking of that Christmas magic and making it home for Santa Claus, how fun has it been to really have your family with you and being able to bring them not only from the National Finals of Breakaway Roping and, like you said, roping for all of this money, but you even made it home to be a great mom as well and do that. Does that kind of make the sport of rodeo just a little bit more fun when you get to truly keep your family with you?
Honestly, that is the meaning of rodeo is family. It's the only sport that we can all be involved, and that is where it's been such a blessing to be a breakaway roper in this day and age. Because for years, my husband team ropes and calf ropes, and now he trips steers, and we were always kind of trying to find the little amateur rodeos and whatnot that I could go to and breakaway rope too. And now we can both follow our dreams and go to the professional rodeos. And Landon has his group of friends that he loves seeing there at the rodeos, and it's very family oriented, and that is why we love this sport. That's why it's our favorite and our top. It's better than any other sport as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more right there, Suzanne. It is definitely family-oriented, at least for the Williams family in the sport of rodeo. And by the way, I don't know if I believe that old comment a little earlier, especially with all the money that you've won here over the past couple of weeks. Congratulations, by the way, on the weeks you've had. Not only making the National Finals of Breakaway Roping, having some success there, and, of course, what you did at the California circuit just a week ago, that was outstanding as well. I agree with Anthony Lucia when he said it there in that video. Maybe Superwoman stamped on your chest right there. So congratulations, and thanks for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, there she was, Suzanne Williams, a champ, and she just keeps winning. But speaking of champs that keep winning, this young gun right here is no stranger to the winner's circle. Dusky Lynn has had a big weekend with some big wins and big money. We'll tell you about it next on Western Sports Roundup. Welcome back into Western Sports Roundup. Right here on the Cowboy Channel, we like to showcase everything all around the world of professional rodeo. On Inside Rodeo, we're going to showcase a lot of activities from stock contractors to athletes and personnel and more. This week on Inside Pro Rodeo, we'll share a little bit about the life of Anthony Lucia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome a man nominated in the top 5 for PRCA Announcer of the Year, all the way from Weatherford, Texas, Anthony Lucia.
Yeah, I'm Anthony Lucia. I announce professional rodeos. I host a talk show. I announce the Bullfighters Only World Championships and a lot of other things. But as long as it's got a microphone, possibly a camera, a crowd, I'm in. Yeah, so my dad was Tommy Lucia, and we lost him in 2016. He's a Pro Rodeo Hall of Famer, National Cowboy Hall of Famer. But before all that, he was the owner and the trainer of Whiplash the Cowboy Monkey. He not only had that act, he was also had an amazing dancing horse named In His Glory. There was 2 of those horses. In the 70s, he was a barrel man. In the 70s and 80s, went to the National Finals Rodeo, worked all the major rodeos. And I came around in about 85, and that was the year that he decided to go full-fledged specialty acts. So I grew up in rodeo. I didn't know any different. I have a brother that went on to be a doctor. So we had a choice, but I stayed with rodeo.
Cowboys are going to ride tonight. So with that being said, I need to know. Are you ready? One time on this Friday night, if you're ready for the 6 World's Toughest Rodeo, make some noise!
I started announcing in about 2010 and went professional in 2011 with announcing, and I've been doing that in television a lot in the last 2 years. I went full bore into rodeo announcing, and it's been the greatest 2 years of my life.
That's just a taste of what's to come this week on Inside Pro Rodeo. The beginning story of Anthony Lucia, Tucker Allen's breakdown, the stock market report, all of that coming to you Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central.
Yeah, that's just a little teaser of Justin McKee's great show here on the Cowboy Channel. So tune in for that. You won't want to miss all the activities that he's got coming for you. We've talked a lot over the last handful of years here on the Cowboy Channel and truthfully throughout the world of Western sports of young barrel racer, just 11 years old, Dusky Lynn Hall. And she just continues her winning ways and what she's done here over the past couple of weeks, past month or so. I mean, well over, let's say close to 100,000, I guess I should say, here in the last couple of weeks. The Quindy Jingle Bell Classic took place down in Perry, Georgia. Big win for her there. It seems like almost everywhere this young lady goes, she has the right horse for the right program for the right time and comes out on top.
Yes, she has. This is a different one than we're really used to seeing her on, though, but do not count Spit out. We're used to seeing her on this big yellow horse right here, but Spit at 13-3 hands tall. Here's the deal. These horses are firecrackers, and they are on fire, but that little jockey really knows how to get the win. This one earned her $14,000 right here, and even more in the rest of the weekend.
That big yellow is JH Firewater Honor that you're looking at there, 14.770. Then makes her way to the Lone Star Shootout. That's down in Hamilton, Texas, I believe it is, 15.013. $20,000 earned there. So you see where we're going with this little story? I mean, the numbers just keep racking up. The money just keeps racking up with this young lady. Of course, we watched her make so many headlines at the American just a couple of years ago. And the thing is, though, that I love talking about this young lady because of her age. I mean, that's the cool story. Yeah, she's got great horses, but she does a great job jockeying these big guys as well. I shouldn't say all of them are big guys, because Spit, the one we were talking about a while ago, he just stands 13-3, but he's kind of a firecracker himself, just in a small package.
This is just a look at some of the things we've seen her do already to end 2025. But the thing is, Spit already broke the arena record back at the FizBomb Classic that was previously held by that other big yellow horse I was telling you. Ain't Seen Famous Yet, not too long ago. She's breaking her own records and continues to do so. But to be so small in such a little package, but the thing is, as an aggressive jockey, to be able to ride these different horses, they don't all have the same style. And I think that really goes to prove the horsemen that we have coming up in the industry.
I agree with that completely, because a lot of people out there say, oh, well, she's just got a great horse that takes her around the barrels. Okay, I agree with that some, but we just shared a story with you on a few different horses, and she's able to jockey each and every one of them around for big money each and every weekend that she goes. So I'll just say this, you might better stay tuned right here to the Cowboy Channel. I got a feeling we're going to keep talking about young Dusky Lynn Hall for lots more as the year continues here for 2026. When we come back here on Western Sports Roundup, before we get ready to wrap everything up, they had a bull riding and a bullfight event, the Brantley Invitational this past week. You can catch it on the Cowboy Channel app. Stay with us. We'll tell you who the champs were from that event when we return here on Western Sports Roundup.
The Brantley Invitational, you're taking a look at Old Glory right there, but we're taking you to my home state of Oklahoma, Pawhuska, Oklahoma. That is the Osage County Fairgrounds. We got some bull riding, some bullfighting, and a lot of fun was had. We're going to kick it off with the bull riding.
Yeah, standalone event that took place just over the weekend there in Pawhuska. Of course, it aired on our Cowboy Channel Plus app. Cool thing about the app is if you missed any of it and you want to check it out, you can go back and watch. There was the champions. Jesse Silva got the title in the bull riding, 88 points for him. Chase Stratford was second with an 87. They're stacked in there about all the way down to number 5 or 6 in there. Congratulations to the bull riders, but they also had a bullfight to go on as well.
That they did. Freestyle bullfighting. You just saw Cole Pfister there working the cowboy protection as well, but here he is showing you what it takes. So with a timed event, this is a certain allotted amount of time for one man, one bull going head to head. It's a dance, and it was an exciting one. We've even seen some of the best go head to head, like Cole Pfister. Johnny Sagers was there as well as the 81 points, and then Bryce Burr as well. This was fun to watch as well. Those bulls really hooked up as well. And that takes us to our Vetterson top 3 stories of the day, presented by Vetterson Clean Treat Heal. We talked about the California Circuit Finals that happened last week. It got plenty exciting over there. Suzanne Williams joined us to talk about the big way she was able to sweep the breakaway roping.
PBR bull rider Brady Fielder got a big win in Boston, Massachusetts over the weekend with the Unleash the Beast Tour was taking place. Moved himself up into that number 2 position overall on the season. Highest scored ride of the season. Yeah, it's a young and early season here for 2026, but 91.20 in the final round got him the win. Taylor Munsell, we talked about her winning her first breakaway roping world title. Riley George got the average title at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. That all took place right here in Cowtown Coliseum just before Christmas.
Rocky Steiner's Hell on Wheels finale comes up on Wednesday. The new episode, the final Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. You don't want to miss it. Right on the Cowboy Channel.
Oh yeah, Odessa, Texas, and the Sandhill Rodeo gets underway this weekend. Denver in the National Western. It's all coming your way as well, starting this weekend here on the Cowboy Channel. January is underway. We want you riding along with us. That's going to wrap it up here for Western Sports Roundup. For Elise, I'm Ty. Have a good evening, everybody.